Good morning. Please remain standing if you are able for the national anthem. Please be seated. Good morning, graduates, staff, family, friends, and special guests joining us here today, and all those tuning in through our live stream. Thank you for being part of this special day as we celebrate the class of 2019. My name is Craig Collins, the principal of Lunenburg Campus. I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are in Mi'kmaq, the unceded territory and ancestral homeland of the Mi'kmaq Nation. Our friendship is based on a series of peace and friendship treaties between the Mi'kmaq Nation and the Crown, dating back to 1725. In Nova Scotia, we recognize we are all treaty people. It is indeed my honor and privilege to welcome you to the 49th Convocation at the Lunenburg campus of the Nova Scotia Community College. I would like now to introduce the stage guests. Please hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. Starting with the first row to my immediate right, Susan Sanford, Academic Chair, School of Business and School of Health and Human Services. Blair Lipsett, Academic Chair, School of Access, and School of Trades and Technology. The Honorable Mark Fury, MLA for Lunenburg West, Attorney General, and Minister of Justice. Don Bureau, President of the Nova Scotia Community College. Dan Tanner, Alumni Representative. Anna Burke, Vice President, Academic. Catherine McLean, Vice President, Campuses and Communities. Rosalind Penfound, Vice President, Organizational Development. Monica Foster, Vice President, College Services and CFO. Second row to my far right, Tara Keener, Dean, School of Access. Scott McPherson, Dean, School of Business. Margaret Champion, Dean, School of Health and Human Services. Lucy Canary, Dean, School of Trades and Technology. Elizabeth Yo, Director, Student Services. Christine Arsenault, Director, Enrollment and Registrar. Jeremy Porter, Assistant Registrar. Don Huskins Townsend, Manager, Student Services. Each year, our campus welcomes new faces, all eager, many anxious, but still filled with enthusiasm. By the time we see those same faces cross our stage at Convocation, we see that same enthusiasm, but the anxiousness is gone, and in its place, a newfound confidence. Ultimately, it's thanks to the inner strength each of you have to balance competing priorities that culminated in your success. And now you can say, I did it. To our amazing faculty and dedicated staff, I would like to thank you for the role you have played in supporting our students in their journey to graduation. Would all Lunenburg campus faculty and staff please stand and be acknowledged? I would also like to acknowledge our student leadership on campus and ask that all Student Association executive and class representatives stand and be acknowledged. Thank you. At this time of year, we sometimes say goodbye to faculty and staff who've been members of our campus family, supporting students and contributing to student success and campus life. I would like to take this opportunity to recognize the retirement of Reimer Fullendorf, Faculty Culinary Arts Program. We would like to thank him for the contributions he has made to the Nova Scotia Community College and wish him well in his retirement. Today, we're also celebrating students who are graduating from programs online. I want to extend a welcome to my colleague, Tricia Donovan, our eCampus principal, who is in attendance. Welcome. The journey that has led you here today may not have been easy. If you recall, during Get Started, we committed to work in partnership with you to achieve your goals. You accepted this offer, and as a campus community, we began the journey together. Thank you for choosing NSCC and the very best in your future endeavors. Congratulations to the class of 2019. Please join me in welcoming the Honorable Mark Fury, who brings greetings from the province.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure again to be on this campus and such an honor to speak on such an important day, and I promise I'll be brief. Bridgewater is home for me. I've been attending events on this campus for many, many years, and there's nothing quite like the energy, the hustle, the bustle of a college campus, particularly on graduation day. 157 graduates will receive your diplomas today. This is the celebratory finish of a lot of hard work, of sacrifice, of determination, and really the beginning of the next chapter of your journey in life. Parents, educators and faculty, family, friends, and mentors, they are here today to support you. And without them, you would not be where you are today. And I know you know that. They stand on your shoulders with pride, held up by your dedication and your sacrifice. To our family and friends and mentors and faculty, educators, consider yourself co-recipients today because you have been an important part of this educational journey for them. A post-secondary education is the best investment you'll ever make in your life. It's an investment in yourself, and it's an investment in your future. And because you chose to study here, it's an investment in our community, and it's an investment in our province. I see the diversity of graduates and recipients today. And I know at some point today we'll see children and possibly grandchildren walk across the stage with you. They are very proud. You should be as well. On behalf of the Premier, my colleagues in the legislature, and all Nova Scotians, congratulations and thank you for your contribution to the fabric of what Nova Scotia is. Enjoy your day.
Good morning, everyone. Graduates, I have to tell you that it's such an honor for me to be standing on this stage this morning, to be here celebrating your success with your family, your friends, and your loved ones. In fact, as president of NSCC, addressing you, the graduating class of 2019, is simply the highlight of my year. And as I was preparing my speech, I asked my son, Matthew, who recently graduated from NSCC, for a little advice on what I should say. And he said, Dad, he said, you could try to be witty, you could try to be charming, you could even try to be intellectual, but instead, just be yourself. So I think I'm going to be myself this morning and tell you a favorite story that I've told to my colleagues over the years, but I think it's a very powerful story, especially with what's happening in the world today. And that story is called the patch story. And it's important because it speaks to the imperative of taking action and having a positive impact on others. I first heard this story a few years ago when I had the honor of attending a luncheon in Halifax, and I heard a lady by the name of Valerie Jarrett speak. Now, some of you may not have heard of Valerie, I hadn't, but she was the senior advisor to President Barack Obama while he was in office. In fact, she was often referred to as his shadow because for 8 years as president, she was always by his side. Valerie was in Halifax speaking to a number of individuals, and she spoke to us about what it was like working with the president. She explained that early in her career, she was the head of the legal department for the city of Chicago. And one day, while she was interviewing lawyers to fill a vacant position in her department, a young woman by the name of Michelle came into her office, and within 5 minutes after the interview started, Valerie offered her the job on the spot. Well, that Michelle was Michelle Obama. And over time, Valerie became very close friends with the Obamas. And when Barack decided to run for president, he asked Valerie to take a 6-month leave of absence to help him with his campaign. Well, she was with him for the entire 8 years that he was in office. And she told us a story back in 2008 when he was first campaigning for president. He had just finished giving a speech in a hotel in Chicago when an elevator operator offered him a little cloth military patch. This man, his name was Earl Smith, and he explained that the military patch had brought him good luck during the Vietnam War and throughout his life. And he wanted to give it to the presidential candidate to protect him as he undertook his important work. Obama said he couldn't possibly take his military patch, but Earl insisted, and he did. Let's fast forward now to 2012. President Obama has just won his second election, and he and Valerie are in the Oval Office talking about the inauguration ceremony when the president says to her, "Do you remember that gentleman who gave me that military patch back in 2008? Because I want to see if we can go locate him and invite him to the ceremony." Well, Valerie said, "Sir, that was 4 years ago. We have no idea where that man lives. We don't even know his name. It would be impossible to go find him." The president responded with a little smile, and he said, "Valerie, we have the FBI and CIA at our disposal. Go find him." Well, she turned around as she was leaving the office. She looked over her shoulder and said, "By the way, Mr. President, what did you ever do with that little military patch that he gave you 4 years ago?" Well, the president reached into his pocket and pulled out a handful of tokens, including that little patch. There was a marble, there were rosary beads that the Pope had given him, there was a lucky poker chip. These were the items that people had given him over his years of public service that had a profoundly deep and positive impact on him. You see, every morning for 8 years, when getting dressed in the morning, President Obama would take a handful of tokens from his dresser and put them into his pocket. And they were a reminder of why he was doing the work he was doing. In his mind, he was president to serve and have a positive impact on others. But here's the thing. You don't have to be the most powerful person in the world to have a positive impact on others. Earl Smith did not know that his humble act of sharing his military patch with Barack Obama in that hotel that morning would have such a positive impact that it did. He knew that he would be just one of thousands of interactions for Barack Obama, but still, Earl acted. And you know, we need not look very far or look very hard to find examples of that in our NSCC community. There are many stories of students encouraging other students during their programs and helping each other. There are many stories of our incredible faculty and staff dedicating countless hours to mentoring and supporting our students. But there's one example in particular of you, our graduates, making a significant contribution to the lives of others that I want to recognize. At the core of NSCC, we strive to be an accessible college as a way to help students overcome all types of adversity. And to that end, many of you would know that a few years ago we launched Make Way, a fundraising campaign to raise $25 million to help our students overcome financial barriers as they pursued their education. And I'm very proud to say that we recently completed that campaign and over $33 million was raised. Yes, thank you. And a key group of contributors to that success has been you, our graduates. Because you see, your student associations have pledged $500,000 over 5 years on behalf of each and every one of you to the campaign. And I think that deserves a huge applause. Thank you very much. Graduates, please know that your very generous gift will make a significant impact in the lives of students by making education even more accessible for many years to come. And as we look to the future, our ask of you is to please never stop using your education and your many gifts to have a positive impact on others who may be facing adversity of any form as they try to pursue a better life. And as I think of being kind and helping others, graduates, there are family, friends, loved ones, incredible NSCC faculty and staff who are joining us today who have shown you these virtues. So graduates, I have one final assignment for you before you officially complete your program. And that last assignment is I want you to think for a second of that individual who has had a positive impact on your life, for whom you have a deep, deep appreciation, and who has joined us today. I've asked you to think of that person or persons because we have a tradition at NSCC, a tradition where I ask the graduating class to stand up and give a wave of gratitude to somebody in this gymnasium as a way to say thank you for the impact that they have had on you during your studies. So as your last assignment, graduates, please stand as you're able and give a wave to somebody in the room to say thank you. So graduates, I can say you now have officially completed your program. Well done. Congratulations. And before I conclude, there's one other important group of individuals joining us this morning that I'd like to recognize. For decades, our alumni have been driven by a passion to find ways to have a positive impact in their communities and have made lives better and more accessible for those around them. So I want to acknowledge our alumni who are joining us this morning. If you are a past graduate of NSCC or any of our predecessor institutions or schools, or are a graduate of CCEDP, would you please now stand to be recognized? So in conclusion, Graduates, I want to share with you one other comment that Valerie shared with us during that lunch. She was asked, Valerie, when working in the White House for the president, did the time go by fast or did the time go by slow? She thought for a minute and she responded. She said, you know, the 8 years went by just like that. But she said, some days they lasted forever. Well, I think that's true for life in general. So graduates, after walking across this stage this morning, please don't wait until tomorrow to act. Start today and continue to have a positive impact on others by paying forward the many gifts and abilities that you have. Congratulations, and thank you for allowing NSCC to be part of your learning journey. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Blair Lipsett, the Academic Chair for the School of Access and the School of Trades and Technology. We will now present the certificates and diplomas. I remind graduates to take their time when receiving their credentials so that family and friends may come forward to take pictures. As the flow of graduates to and from the stage must be maintained, we would ask that you please return to your seat after capturing your special moments so that others have the same opportunity. Students whose names appear in the program but who are unable to be with us today are automatically admitted to their respective certificates or diplomas. For the information of the audience, those students who attained honors standing have this designation noted in the program. Congratulations for your outstanding academic performance. Mr. President, I present to you the following candidates, who have completed all the requirements for the credential in the School of Access for their certificate of completion in Achieve. Kirk DeMond. Cody DeBow. Emma Mason. Andrew Preston. Liam Steele. Amelia Wynot. Mr. President, the graduates in Achieve. Mr. President, I present to you the following candidates for the Nova Scotia High School Graduation Diploma for Adults. Cody Benvey. Victoria McDonald. Tiffany Tufts.
Good morning. I'm Susan Sanford, the Academic Chair for the School of Business and the School of Health and Human Services. Mr. President, I present to you the following candidates who have completed all the requirements for the credential in the School of Business for the certificate in culinary skills. Aileen Marie Amiro. Brianna Irene May Belding. Esther Lorenz. Andrew Nickerson. Abigail Weir. Mr. President, the graduates in culinary skills. Mr. President, I present to you the following candidates for the Certificate in Medical Office Administration. Brittany Allen. Brittany Conrad. Kristen Cranton. Michaela Dion. Vanessa Drake. Nancy Eichel. Abby Forsyth. Christian Goodine. Olivia Grant. Jenna Hall. Joanne Kinney. Tyler Moores. Lori Mosher. Kelsey Grace Miles. Amber Roach. Alana Rober. Mackenzie Slonwhite. Natasha Treadwell. Krystallum Wagner. Krystallum Wagner. Mary Yosef. Mr. President, the graduates in Medical Office Administration. Mr. President, the candidates for the Diploma in Business Administration. Rachel Baker. Jaron Bolivar. Michael Langell. Mr. President, the candidates for the Diploma in Business Administration, Accounting. Mr. President, it is the tradition in the Nova Scotia Community College that when an employee has a family member graduating, we offer them the opportunity to present the credential. Denise Dodson joins us now to present her daughter with a Diploma in Business Administration, Accounting. Kate Dodson. Devin Green. Caitlin Hornbeck. Kathleen Noss. Tyler Roy. Tyler Schmeiser. Michaela Taylor. Natalie Zink. Mr. President, the candidate for the Diploma in Business Administration Management, Justin Smith. Mr. President, the graduates in Business Administration. Mr. President, the candidates for the Diploma in Culinary Arts. Justin Cribb. Stuart Jenkins. DeRay McDonald. Hangnam Oh. Mr. President, the graduates in Culinary Arts. Mr. President, I present to you the following candidates who have completed all the requirements for a credential in the School of Health and Human Services for the Certificate in Continuing Care. Haley Allenbach. Kelsey Baker. Jody Barkos. Keely Clattenburg. Sarah Hamlin. Dawn Hanley. Victoria Pelham. Magali Swinimer. Haley Wynot. Michaela Wynot. Shannon Wilson. Mr. President, the graduates in continuing care. Mr. President, the candidate for the certificate in funeral arranging and directing, Tracy Jonah. Mr. President, the candidates for the Diploma in Disability Supports and Services, Susie Hammond. Caitlin Hatt. Shakira Jodri. Jody Kaya Tanner. Mr. President, the graduates in Disability Supports and Services.
Mr. President, I present to you the following candidates who had completed all the requirements for the credentials in the School of Trades and Technology for the Certificate in Automotive Service and Repair. Isaac Cook. Megan Forrest. Cameron Wynot. Mr. President, the candidates for the Certificate in Diesel Repair, Industrial and Marine. Jared Atwood. Brad Bowers. That's right. Carrie Ann Croft. Congratulations. Keaton Cross. Connor Green. Ian McFarlane. Isaac McLean. Owen Mansfield. Noah Mitten. Sam Morash. Darcy Simon. Congratulations. Spencer Staton. Christopher Swim. That's her name, okay? Mr. President, the graduates in Diesel Repair, Industrial and Marine. Mr. President, the candidates for the Certificate in Electrical, Construction, and Industrial. Dalton Brown. Emily Conrad. Alex Cormier. Thanks, Jamie Hebb. Noah Jeffries. Brittany McNeil. Jacob Moland. Antonio Muse. Haley Nogler. Connor Noss. Wayne Party. I got the first name down. Guinness Rexepi. Evan Sweet. That's what I thought. No problem. Kaz Martin. Mr. President, the graduates in electrical, construction, and industrial. Mr. President, the candidates for the certificate in refrigeration and air conditioning, Jeff Arkelian. Paul Duggan. Michael Frail. Patrick's good. Patrick Frazier. Luke Galpin Nicholson. Logan Grant. Tristan Muse. Jordan Nearing. Alex Nickerson. Luke Peach. Colby Sims. Miles Walsh. Shuyang Zhang. Mr. President, the graduates in refrigeration and air conditioning. Mr. President, the candidates for the Diploma in Drafting Architectural, Jeff Conrad. Everett Hagan. Natalie LeBlanc. Tyler McIntosh. Jessica Morrison. Thanks, bud. Lucas Van Wall. Mr. President, the graduates in drafting architectural. Mr. President, the candidates for the diploma in heritage carpentry. Alex Bayer. That's the only one. Mr. President, the candidates for the Diploma in Natural Resources Environmental Technology. Erica Baker. Caleb Duffney. Scott Ellis. Gavin Martins Carpenter. Jason Milbury. Thank you, sir. Stephen Mims. Bethany Lynn Walsh. Thank you. Rachel Walsh. That's right. Congratulations. Scott Andrew Walsh. Mr. President, the graduates in Natural Resources Environmental Technology.
Mr. President and invited guests, I present to you the 2019 graduating class of the Lunenburg Campus, Nova Scotia Community College. Good morning. I'm Dawn Huskins Townsend, the Manager of Student Services. Last week, we hosted a student success celebration to honor campus award winners. Before the following presentations, would the award winners from last week please stand to be recognized? I know they're out there. There you go. A little shy. It's now my pleasure to announce the 5 major award winners. I would ask each graduate to come forward to the stage as his or her name is announced. We now welcome the Honorable Mark Fury, MLA for Lunenburg West, to come forward to present the Governor General's Academic Medal. This is awarded to a graduating student in a college diploma program who has achieved the highest academic standing. The recipient is Rachel Baker, Administration. We now welcome Anna Burke, Vice President Academic, to come forward to present the Nova Scotia Community College Gold Medal. This is awarded to a graduating student of a college certificate program who has achieved the highest academic standing. The recipient for Lunenburg Campus is Carolyn Lawson, Medical Office Administration. And unfortunately, Carolyn is unable to join us this morning, but we'll ensure that she gets her award. It is also my honor to announce the recipient for the E-Campus, Tracy Jonah, Funeral Arranging and Directing. We now welcome Catherine McLean, Vice President, Campus and Communities, to come forward to present the Board of Governors Award. This is awarded to a graduating student of a college diploma program who has demonstrated outstanding academic achievement and contributed to campus and/or community activities. The recipient is Nathalie LeBlanc, Drafting Architectural. We now welcome Don Bureau, President of the Nova Scotia Community College, to come forward to present the President's Award. This is awarded to a graduating student of a college certificate program who has demonstrated outstanding academic achievement and contributed to campus and/or community activities. The recipient this year is Shuyang Zhang, Refrigeration and Air Conditioning. We now welcome Dan Tanner, NSCC alumni, a 2011 graduate of the Culinary Arts program, to come forward to present the Alumni Award. This is awarded to a graduating student of a college certificate or diploma program who has demonstrated outstanding academic achievement and whose service and leadership has made a difference in the lives of others. The recipient is Scott Ellis, Natural Resources Environmental Technology Program. Mr. President and invited guests, I present to you the 2019 award winners. At this time, I would like to recognize your valedictorian class of 2019, Krystallum Wagner. Krystallum is a graduate of the Medical Office Administration program. Praised by her peers for bringing a positive energy into every room she enters, Krystallum gave back to the campus through test drive mentorship, open house participation, and is an awesome Student Association class rep and member of the SA Grad Committee. During the valedictorian selection process, the review panel felt the emotion and power in her message as it reflected common challenges and how to overcome through perseverance and dedication. Welcome, Krystallum.
Good morning. I'm honored to be up here today as your valedictorian. I would like to talk to you a little bit about change, better yet, metamorphosis. The butterfly is a metaphor of change, going through a complete metamorphosis, from an egg to a larva to a pupa and finally to an adult. This is not just a change of experience and learning, but a physical change that can be observed in an astonishing and breathtaking way. The larva emerges from the egg, a wiggly little caterpillar that eats and eats and eats, shedding its skin, its exoskeleton as it grows until it is time to form a chrysalis. Safe and secure within its chrysalis, the caterpillar undergoes a change at the physical level, morphing into what seems should be a new species, emerging from its cocoon and taking flight with its new wings. Each butterfly is colorful, beautiful, unique, and a miracle of nature. We all came to NSCC at a crossroads in our lives, whether straight from high school or a change in an already established career. No matter what our trials and tribulations were that brought us here, we worked up the courage to take on change, we tackled the unknown, and we overcame our fears. We came here with a common goal in mind, to better ourselves, to find a career, to change. Accepting change can be difficult, let alone going out and pursuing it. Let's face it, change can be scary, the unknown can be terrifying, and fear can be debilitating. Some of us may have experienced doubts and fears about change and the unknown. We may have even thought that it couldn't be done or nearly gave up before even trying. There were many challenges to realizing our dream between thoughts about tuition, expenses, working, studying, raising a family, or having a social life, and let's not forget about finding time to sleep. But lucky for us, we didn't listen to those thoughts, at least not for long. Shedding the exoskeleton that restricted us, we overcame the objections from ourselves and maybe even from others, and we made it through, perhaps not as the same person we were when we started. Though change can be scary, change is a good thing. If it were not for change, we would continue to do the same boring and mundane things we were doing before, following a drab path into an oblivious future that only bears a mediocre semblance of happiness. Change is a metamorphosis that strengthens us, helps us to grow. It teaches us new and wonderful things about ourselves and everything around us, and it allows us to soar to new heights. Whether we are here today after a 1 or 2 year course, it has been a tough, demanding, transformative, and intense experience. If you are like me, it pushed you to what you knew you could do, shoved you to what you assumed you could handle, and then dumped you in the middle of chaos. And you know what? I loved every minute of it. I hope you did too. I finally understand this quote by director James Cameron. If you set your goals ridiculously high and it's a failure, you will fail above everyone else's success. I challenge you to aim your goals beyond what you know you can achieve and pursue it, because you just may surprise yourself and achieve it. In the end, we never know what we can achieve until we try. One of the great things about finding ourselves at NSCC is that we didn't just land in a college within a community, we landed in a community within a college. We found ourselves in a community comprised of faculty, campus staff, and students, of knowledge and experience. A community that opened its arms, that took us in, and told us that they were behind us, that we can do this. This community has provided us a safe place, like our very own chrysalis, protecting our metamorphoses, strengthening our courage, our determination, and our belief in ourselves. We grew from within, then emerged with a fresh look on life, where the sky is the limit. This is why I'm so proud of each of you. You overcame change when you landed on the doorsteps of NSCC, stepping into the abyss of the unknown, staring fear in the face. Whether you came straight from high school, took a break before continuing your education, or are pursuing a change in careers, it doesn't matter. The important thing is that we made it here, we have reached this end, and we have achieved this milestone. We now find ourselves at a head. We are again at a crossroads of change, on the precipice of a new unknown. Today marks the end of a journey, but it also represents the beginning of a new one. Before we leave this journey behind, I want us to remember the path that led us here. Some of us may have followed the bright, sunny, and well-worn path through the woods. Others may have followed the dark, dreary, and nearly forgotten path that the animals won't even take. And others still may have cleared their own path. Whichever your individual path, don't take it for granted and don't chastise others for theirs. For the path in the sun can blind us, the path in the dark can hold hidden lights, and the path newly made, well, I don't really know what to tell you. You must have went into natural resources, environmental technology, so you figure it out. The important thing is, remember the steps that brought you to this point and go from here to your chosen destination. Our family, friends, classmates, teachers, college staff, co-workers, and every person we have been in contact with are our supports. Our supports are our community, our garden, which we pollinate to keep it thriving, growing together while still an individual. If you feel you have reached the end of your metamorphosis, with your garden thriving through the support of your community, but you still want more, then stop being the butterfly and become the phoenix, strengthened by the fire and reborn of the ashes. Rise anew, realign your goals, your values, and your life. I would like to conclude by sharing a couple of quotes from a man most people would recognize as a genius. And these are quotes I love to live by. Albert Einstein once said, "There are two ways to live. You can live as if nothing is a miracle, or you can live as if everything is a miracle." He also said, "Where there is love, there is no imposition." Thank you, congratulations, and may you love your metamorphosis and let it be your miracle to change the world around you as you take flight.
Thank you, Krystallum, for representing your classmates. And I'd ask Craig to come forward and give his congratulations.
This brings us to the end of today's convocation proceedings. We invite everyone to join us in the atrium for a reception immediately following the ceremony. Graduates, after receiving your credential on stage, you are presented with your NSCC alumni pin. We hope that from this moment forward, you will wear it proudly. Because today, when you shed your gown, your connection to NSCC does not end. Yesterday, you were students. Today, you are grads. Forever, you are NSCC alumni. This ceremony will be available on NSCC's YouTube channel for those family members and friends who are unable to attend today. And don't forget, graduates, to use the hashtag NSCCgrad when you share your convocation photos and messages on social media. I'd like to take a moment to thank the many people who have contributed to this morning's celebration. Would everyone please rise, if you are able, and remain standing until the stage party, led by our president, staff, and graduates have left the auditorium. Convocation has ended.